Okay, welcome to another mentor video. This is Jack McCagg. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, this one's on property tax exemption. A lot of asks for it, so I'm finally getting around to it. I'm using Hillsborough County, Florida, as an example. All right, so you type in, I typed in Florida property tax exemption. Hey, well, let's look. Look what I Googled. Real estate tax exemption from Florida. Okay. So you do it for your county with that, and something will pop up. And this gave a long list here. There's already a type of exemption in Florida for a portion of your real estate uh, property taxes here. That's not what we're talking about. And there's some other types, but really what we want to get at is this one right here. Okay. Institutional charitable exemptions. Okay. Why would we use that? Because to own real estate, this is the best way to do it, all right? Own real estate in the name of a trust. The best way to do it is to have a trust that has a Christian church name. So it's like, Christian trust, you know, Jesus Christ trust, Christ trust, um, you know, something like that. Basic, simple, not complex, not wordy. I don't recommend, more than 3 words for a trust, including the word trust. You want to keep it simple and short. And that way the name fits in applications. Okay, so if we click on this, this is going to be tax exemption, or not a charter school, right? Uh, tax exemption application. So this trust that's named after a church, it doesn't necessarily need a bank account. Okay, it doesn't need credit. You don't need to go through those processes for this trust. It's just you create a trust with an EIN, and that's all you need, actually. Uh, and see, part of the goal of trusts, one of the reasons for using different trusts, there aren't many, uh, but one of the reasons for using a separate trust is, say, the one that you use for your operations, your financial operations, money coming, going, and stuff like that. Um, is for this real estate property tax exemption. So you get a standalone trust named like a church to do this process, to fill out this form, to apply for the property tax exemption, and to own the real estate. The deed has to be in the name of this trust first, right? That's a process that has to happen first. However, you got the current deed, you could pay a lawyer to put in the name of a trust. If you finance it to get the property, you could refinance it and check with the lender, you know, who you're refinancing with. Hey, at the end, I need to put it in into a trust for tax reasons. Can I do that? You still have to personally guarantee it, right? The loan and all of the loan process is the same, okay? But you check with the lender. Hey, when we go to closing, when the day we exchange the keys and the money and all that stuff, right? We do it. We settle. We close, whatever you call it, wherever you are. We buy the property. I need it to go in the name of a trust. So you check with a lender who's going to lend the money and ask them if that's okay. And for some lenders, it's okay. So that's the way to do it. If you own a property free and clear, you just need a one-page quitclaim deed, put it in the name of the trust, or, I recommend, you pay a lawyer, though, because they'll give you a different level of deed. Not that a quitclaim deed is a less of a deed, but a quitclaim deed transfers just the rights you have. It doesn't express them, doesn't write down and spell out exactly what type of rights are given to that trust, you see. And so it was worth paying for a lawyer to get the deed right and so on when you bought it or got it or whatever. So that's why I say it's worth it to do it the same way. Pay the same lawyer to do it. Just you have to check the lender if you have to refinance. Okay, to make sure that's all right. To put it in the trust. Okay, all right. That's the setup, right? So there's real estate in the name of a trust. That's what the assumption has to be, okay? Because this video teaches you, okay, this is how if a trust owns a piece of real estate, how to get approval when you apply for tax exemption, property tax exemption, okay? That's what this video is about, right? So, again, a church sounding trust, standalone, doesn't need a bank account, and you start that and it has an EIN. Then you hit this, right? Look at this form. Now, already pulled one up. The ad valorem is what property tax. Ad valorem tax is property tax. Okay, so in Florida, all counties, and this is probably in most states, all counties in Florida use the same property tax exemption form and therefore process. You know what I mean? You fill this out and you send it into the county. Even though this is state form, works for all the whole state, you're going to send it to your individual county, right? That's where I got it from the county of Hillsborough County, remember? Okay, so let's go through this line by line. We're going to all I can use is one stated as an example, right? I'm in Florida, and then apply the principles to all the questions. So your form is going to be different from your state because I'm going to talk about the principles in this video behind each question, you're going to know how to fill out your own state application. It's not going to be a problem. And if you have any little question on one little, question on your form, email us, okay? If there's something you don't get. But these things aren't that complex, all right? Don't have any wariness or worriness about filling this out and sending it in. Worst case scenario, right? You may not get approved right away. And so you get something back in the mail. It's not approved because X, Y, or Z. Okay, you call them, email them, etc. Okay, how do I fix this? What did I not fill out right on the form? What do you not understand? What do you further need? Blah, 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 blah. They could come back at you after the application, in which case, okay, let's keep going, and then they're running the application process. So you just, do what they say, whatever they need. Okay, here it is. Here's this, here's that, whatever. Okay? All right. Now let's go line by line here, question by question. All right. This is for ad valorem taxes exemption. Great. Florida statute, so it's only for Florida, right? Okay. So you're going to have to check one of these boxes, and because you named it after a church, it's going to be box number 1, religious. So easy, right? Okay. A, general information, the name of your trust, mailing address, phone, the county, and the owners. And that would be trustee, okay? And so the first line is going to be, the name of an individual who's a trustee. And then it's going to be this percent, right? It's going to be name, comma, trustee, right? Name, legal name, comma, trustee. And then if there's one, it'll be 100%. If there are 2 trustees, it'll be 50 of 50. If it's 3, 33.3%. If it's 4, these will say 25%. Okay? Legal description or parcel ID. Parcel ID I recommend here. Legal description could be long, and then they have to go look it up and stuff. At each county, the parcel meaning is a name for the land. Okay, the land's ID has a specific number given to it from the county, and you pull it up on the county. You go look at Hillsborough County real estate taxes, and they have, you could search the property, right? So if it's a property you own, it's like, oh, let me search the property and get the. Well, I guess we could do that. Hillsborough. What am I doing here? Come on. This is what you want to do. You pull up the property search, okay? For Hillsborough County. All right. And so, property tax search. This is pretty easy. What are we doing? Property tax. And so you're just going to enter the property here, okay? It's easy, the address, 1212, I don't know, Dillon Street. Eddie search, and let's see. No accounts, but anyway, you put your name in there. What's going to come up is the description of the property and so on, and one of the things it's going to have is parcel ID. All right, so that's where you're going to get it, off the parcel ID. Let's see. Oops. Okay, now each piece of land has it, and you get it from the county records. So like where you go to pay your property taxes online, on right there is going to be your parcel ID. Okay, the tax bill you get for the property, parcel ID's on that. Okay, so you have that parcel ID. Okay, and it's online. Okay, is the organization incorporated? The answer is yes, and incorporated means it got an EIN. So, and it did get an EIN. So the answer is yes. If yes, is the organization if yes, is the organization exempt from federal income tax under, and the first box, 501c3, and that's IRC means Internal Revenue Code. Okay, so you click that box right there. This one. That's the one that gets the check. Okay, all right. And then it says provide a copy of the current exemption determination letter from the IRS, which you don't have. So you're gonna put here, like in the space right here, You're gonna write in 508C1A exemption, and then I'm sorry, 508C1A, right? And then comma IRC. You're gonna do that right here. 508C1A IRC right here, okay? And then you're gonna put these two words here. See attached, all caps, okay? See attached document, okay? Or you could just say see attached. Attached means there's some paperwork attached, and we're gonna attach something, and I'll go into that after we do. I'll do it right now. See attached. It's right here. Okay, you're gonna pull this up on the internet and print this out. The 508C1A information here. You pull this up and print it out. All right, so they have it. And I recommend Cornell Laws is just the best. It'll probably be the one that pop up anyway. But print it out. Also print out 6033 returns by exempt organizations. So you print that out and give it to them, and print this. You Google this to get this SBA faith-based organization FAQ. Up pops this 5-page PDF, and on number 3 here, it says this talks about the exemption that you don't apply for it right here. Okay, so. Again, here, it's an mandatory exception, right? You fall under a church right here, and so you don't file. You don't apply, okay? You don't apply. You're not required to file or apply, okay? Shall file. Nope, you don't file. So there's no document to give. And it says you must notify the secretary. You must apply, okay? But see, a church right here, it has an exception. It doesn't apply. It's automatically according to the Internal Revenue Code. there's no application, so there's no exemption letter to be gotten. Do you see what I'm saying? So you send in these documents with your property tax application so that they're like, oh, okay, I get it now, you know? So you add those documents to this application when you mail it in. Okay? All right. Is any of this property rented or leased? No, probably not. I would put no. Owner's statement of full value. I would get the numbers from these right here off of, because these are I did for real property. I would use the number right here that's on the value, the property value. There's a number on uh, your bill that you get for property tax. There's a real property bill. I mean, value there. Just put it in. Just put in their value in here. You don't want to put in any information here. I wouldn't in under real property improvements or something like that. Because what are they trying to do with this? They're just trying to raise the value of your property and charge you more tax, hopefully, or the next person, you know? Okay. How is the property used? I would say only for religious purposes. Only for religious purposes. Uh, maybe only for religious church purposes. You know? That's it. Nothing else. Any portion, is any of the portion used for non-exempt property purposes? The answer is no. Just put no. So this doesn't get filled in. B. You don't check anything in here because it's not a hospital, nursing home, stuff like that. Nothing gets filled out as C. And then the attachments. Okay, this is the last page here. You follow me? Uh, it says here the religious ones. See right here. This is this is the information you have to give them right here. Okay. Copy of 501c3 letter, if applicable. See, they already know you might not have it. You say if applicable right here. So you follow me? So you're going to have to give them. Now, it lists right here on this page the attachments you have to, give. This list right here, okay? And we could go through it, but here's the thing. They took the time to list it here too, okay? This is what you must add to your application if you're doing a religious one. Now they list it right here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And these are the attachments you must have for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're gonna send in, a copy of the Declaration of Trust. You're gonna send in. You don't have a state charter certificate. You don't need that. Uh, and so these things you're gonna still make an attachment. You're gonna say copy of state charter certificate. You're gonna literally use those words, and then you're gonna say not required for this organization on one piece of paper. 3, copy of most recent financial statement. I think that's why one copy of a bank statement is fine, but you could put maybe if you don't have a bank account for it, like I recommend, then you could just put in here uh, no bank account. Uh, Organization has no financial have has no bank account or financial statements, something like that. Number 4, copy of 501c3 letter. This is number 4 where I'd put those attachments that I brought up. Okay, what I went through with the IRS code from Cornell and those 3 things. I'll put them here in number 4. All right. Copy of consumer certificate of exemption. I would just put in not required to have copy of consumer doesn't have it. And then number 6, specific use of the property. It's gonna be the same thing that you wrote before. We had a question for that. Remember? How's the property used, right? Uh, for religious purposes only, or for religious church purposes only. That's it. That's all you. That's all you're gonna put, and then you're gonna give them those attachments. Okay. Uh, let's look what else you have to do, right? Copy of your articles of incorporation. So again, that's a declaration of trust, right? I was sending the EIN as well, copy of the EIN. So they have that. You got to do these things here, these attachments, all right? And this could be one attachment, these things here. So number 2, let's go through them. If incorporated, all this stuff right here, you give them the declaration of trust. See right there, declaration of trust. Number 2, you'll be giving them. You don't indicate any. See what they're asking is, do you take money? This number 2 asks, what's behind this? Do you take money from the trust and give it to another corporation, like a person? You know what I'm saying? And you don't. You keep it within the trust. So the statement of what people get is going to be all zeros. You know, any members, directors, trustees, they get zero compensation. That's what you need to write that down and tell them. Okay, a statement. A statement is just written down and you sign it, right? Signed and notarized. A statement indicating the guarantee of any loan to or any obligation. There's not going to be, the trust isn't going to loan to persons, so that's going to be 0, number 3. Number 3, any contracts. There are no contracts. You can be like, nope, there's no contracts for any of these things, okay? Because you use a trust. You don't use another organization like a person or an LLC, so you don't use that. All right. Schedule the following. And they're all going to be zeros there, right? Unless you have mortgage information to give them. 6, statement indicating the amount of the applicant charged for services. You didn't charge the trust anything to do this, so that's 0. A statement indicating what degree the proceeds of the sale, lease, or disposition of the applicant's property will inure to the benefit of the organization's member, directors, or officers. This is kind of a tough question, so I pulled it apart for you. All right. Inure, that means come into operation or take effect. What will happen if you sell the land, right? With the disposition, right, of land, law. This is for disposition, right? Law. The action of distributing property, transferring property or money to someone. Okay, you're not going to sell trust property, give it to a person, ever, not ever. So we're going to, what? That's the outcome. Well, the outcome is no one's going to get any of this. No person is ever going to get a penny from any of this, any sales proceeds or anything. Number 7 is 0. You give them that statement, okay? Sign it, give them the attachments, and send it in. And then wait to hear back from them. Hopefully they approve it. If not, you'll, work through it with them. That's it. Sometimes it takes lots of backs and forths. So sometimes it's like, bang, stamp, you did it. Okay. This is a good one, eh? All right, you could do this.